Hi YouTube, I'm Udoka. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about whatever I want. Usually people who subscribing purely for the vibe. Today I want to talk about my hair and the answer to a question I've had for almost 2 decades. Why won't my hair grow? It had been the bane of my existence for a large majority of my life. Now, fair warning, for those of you who are like impatient, for those of you who are like, just get to the freaking point, I just want to know, I don't edit my videos. I shoot raw, and I'm going to tell the story because maybe somebody can relate to it. I do plan to eventually edit videos. I'm still learning, getting my Adobe Premiere Pro. So I might remake this video in a more professional format that could be shareable and whatnot. But if you're into chilling and you have the same question as me, keep watching. I appreciate it. And like the video when you actually like it. So checking out my hair. I have 4C hair. Edges gone, which is kind of like the huge. My hair is about, I don't know, just under an inch long. The longest my hair had ever been may have been to the collarbone. That's the longest that it had ever been. And I finally figured out why. And it is nothing at all like what I found online, what the blogs and the forums and the YouTubers. Nobody was able to help me except, go figure, going to the doctor. And I got a particular diagnosis. So let's see, where do we start on this journey? I mean, my mom started relaxing my hair when I was a little girl. I don't know, maybe I was 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I hated it. But it just was what it was. Braids, those updos where they put gel and you literally have gel in your hair for like a month. You name it, I did it. Typical black girl, typical black girl experience. As I started getting a little bit older, like around, preteen, I started actually really caring about my hair, and I would watch shows with black girls in it, like Sister Sister, and just be like, oh my gosh, their hair is just so beautiful and flowy, and why can't my hair be like that? And whenever I had to go to the salon, I would be like, why can't my hair be like that? And the salon lady would be like, girl, they mixed. So then I thought, oh, okay, it's just mixed black people who can have good hair. Okay. But then, some of my cousins, when they would remove their braids, their hair would be really long. And I'm like, we both African AF. Why do you have hair? You're not mixed. And so I really got curious about, what do I do with my hair? And we got the internet, and I discovered black hair care forums. Whoo, child, those forums were a trip, but that's where I learned everything. They were really encouraging women to go natural. My mom would not allow me to go natural. We would fight about it. I would be like, Mom, it's my hair. She's like, well, no, I'm responsible for you. I would be like, come on, it's just hair, it'll grow back. No. It was honestly trauma inducing, the way she would fight with me about my own hair. I absolutely hated it. So I just did the best that I could. I did all the other tips and tricks. I used oils and butters and asked my mom to buy, can you buy ORS? Can you buy this? Can you buy that? And oh, make sure you don't buy anything with mineral oil in it. Mom, I don't want to use pink lotion anymore. Can you buy this? And I did all of that. And nothing helped. Nothing helps. My mom kept saying, oh, your hair doesn't grow because you don't take care of your hair. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I take care of my hair better than anybody that I know. It was really frustrating. As I got older and had more autonomy, I was able to do things like, and my mom would take me to the dermatologist as well. He would try to do steroidal shots into my scalp. Nothing helped. Got older, I went to a naturopathic doctor. He didn't really help. He told me to take, I don't know. He told me to take some herb or something. That didn't do anything. And every dermatologist that I went to would just say, you have traction alopecia, which traction alopecia is, we all know it, you're balding because there's too much tension put on the hair. And I would tell them, but I stopped doing braids. I told my mom, no more braids. I stopped doing those hairstyles, and the dermatologist would say, well, the traction alopecia, it can lead to permanent damage, or, they would always have some excuse as to why it is that they're saying it is. Eventually, I was tired of fighting with my mom about going natural, and I just did it. I just went and got my hair cut. I did a big chop without telling her. I was fully expecting her to blow a gasket when I got home, but then she was like, oh. And that was just a big personal moment for me, because I had been living my whole entire life based on her reaction to an idea that I would say. So, for example, if I told her I want to join this dance club, she would be really mad. And then if I actually just do it, then she's like, oh, okay. And that was just a big maturing moment for me, when I realized I don't understand why she gives me grief about decisions I can make, but I can make them. So I started literally just doing what I wanted with my hair, still trying all the stuff. I actually helped develop the max hydration method. If you notice, just get on YouTube and look. Anybody and everybody who has been doing the max hydration method, they stop. They do it only very, very periodically, or they alter the steps, or their hair doesn't grow. And that's because the max hydration method actually severely damages your hair. I was trying to find images from a microscope that I took of my hair when I was, testing out the method. And what's worse, the method didn't even work for me. It was supposed to make your coils super pop, and it didn't even work for me. I tried, curly girl method, LOC method, LCO method, no oils, no butters method, no poo method, leave your hair alone challenge, low porosity stuff, high porosity stuff, no heat method, inversion method, scalp massage, black Jamaican castor. You say it, you name it, I've done it. And nothing would move. My hair would always remain between, what is this, maybe 8 inches. My hair would always be between 3 and 7 inches. Never more, never ever more. Let's see, I'm checking out my notes. Let's see. So it got to the point where I just had to break down, because my entire Saturdays bleeding into Sundays would be dedicated to just my hair. Now, I was like, this isn't normal. This isn't normal to have to spend a day and a half on just your hair and not even see the results. There's no results. This is not normal. And I would cry. I would just break down and cry. I would also be getting ringworms. I would always get a ringworm. You see this dark spot here? That's where the ringworm would always come. And it used to also come over here too. And sometimes on other spots on my head. I wouldn't know how or what would make that happen. And the only thing that would make it go away was, what's that called? Miconazole nitrate, I think that's what it's called. Miconazole nitrate, which is vag cream. It's antifungal vag cream. That's the only thing that would help. And also, there was a challenge at the time where women were putting it on their scalp because there was some study that showed that when women put it down there, the pubic hairs would grow more. So these women tried to put it on their scalp and they noticed hair growth. I didn't notice anything, as usual. Maybe like a tiny bit. I noticed the hair was growing faster, but the length didn't stay. I couldn't retain any length. So while I thought I had, what's it called? Seborrheic dermatitis, which is a condition where, you have flaky skin, it's itchy, it can be red, irritated, and I thought that's what I had. So I started doing antifungal shampoos. I tried to fix my diet. I tried like a very whole food diet. I tried a gluten-free diet, and I didn't notice anything. I was still having the same issues. So, fast forward to the panorama. By this time, I was just wearing wigs all the time. And just kind of, I don't know, just accepting that maybe my hair doesn't grow. I started reading a lot of books. This whole time I had been reading books. And, when you read these hair care books, they talk about the 3 phases of hair growth. And that, it's genetically predetermined how long or short these phases are. And I just figured maybe my phases are just really short. But then I'm like, but no, my mom has long hair. Her sisters have long hair. My dad's sisters have long hair. When I say long, I mean like their hair can grow to shoulder length, and they don't take good care of their hair. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not doing all these methods that I was doing. So I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I just kind of let it go because there's other priorities in life. I was graduating. Trying to adult. I was trying to set up an adult life. And during the panorama, I was under a lot of stress, only to realize I was under stress because I was in a very toxic work environment. I don't know if you've ever had a boss who just literally was like trying extra hard to like control your life or brainwash you. Like, this dude was literally trying to form a cult. It's crazy. One of these days I'll make a video about it, but I don't know. Anyway, I was under a lot of stress. I was taking Zoloft because my depression was just so severe. And then, the panorama was just, it affected everybody, and I was less active. And I think the combination of all these things really triggered a lot in my body. I was gaining weight like I've never gained before. And my head was itching like it never itched before. Hair was falling out. And I was like, oh Lord, the ringworms that were coming. I was like, oh my God, what? So, at first I noticed that anytime I put any cream, lotion, conditioner, leave-in, oil, butter, anytime I put anything in my hair, it would start itching like crazy. So I started just shampoo only. Shampoo only. I would put conditioner, then shampoo it out, and shampoo again. So my scalp and hair were just clean, and that worked for a little bit. And then even when my scalp was clean, it was itching. So I went to the dermatologist. She gave me a steroidal cream and an antifungal shampoo. The steroidal cream made everything worse. Again, it's like I'm like, lady, I cannot put anything in my head that stays in my hair. But the antifungal shampoo was helping. Then after a while, that wasn't enough. Nothing would be on my head, and it's still burning like fire ants. After too much back and forth, and she kept trying to prescribe me steroidal cream. She finally was like, okay, let's do it. And also I had to get my money up. This was costing money every time, and I was very tight on money. But finally I was able to afford to get a biopsy. And I was like, we doing it right here. Do the biopsy right here, please. This is the worst spot. And it came back positive for lichen planopilaris, which I had never heard of before. It's a disorder. It's an autoimmune disorder that you can have it on your skin or on your hair. It can attack your skin, or it can attack your hair follicles. A lot of people get it. And for women, as far as I know, for women, you can get it like when you're pregnant, or, just when there's hormonal changes. And it usually goes away on its own. But if it doesn't go away, then it just gets progressively worse. And I figure that I have always had this issue in some mild form. I could always tell that there's something internally wrong, because when I would look at my hair strands, there's some hair strands were really thin, even though my hair is coarse and usually thick. And I noticed over time, it just was getting worse. Nothing was getting better. And I think with the panorama, the stress, the Zoloft, I think everything just tipped the scale to like just a full-blown manifestation of this LLP. So the course of action, you can take steroids, you can take an antibiotic, which I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Antibiotics are not good for you. And you're telling me that I would need to take this antibiotic on and off for the rest of my life. That doesn't make sense. For hair. Like, if this was for like, if I had like sepsis or something, or if I had some actual like life-threatening disease, I will take the antibiotic. But I'm like, this is just for hair on my head. This is just for hair. No, I'm not going to take something that makes the rest of my body worse for hair. And you don't even know if it'll work. It only works in like, how many percent? I think it's 20 to 35%. Like, I'm like, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. So I went to a different dermatologist, because I was just at my wit's end with that dermatologist. First I went to a hair restorer. First I went to the gynecologist. I wanted to make sure there's nothing else, like PCOS or some hormonal issues. My hormones normal. I did an ultrasound on my uterus and my ovaries, normal. The gynecologist was like, everything's normal, hun. I did a pap. I hate doing paps. I also have, vaginismus. So I don't do paps. And I was like, we finna do the pap. We're gonna do the pap today. So, okay. And everything was normal. So I went to the hair restoration clinic. They said, I'm not a candidate. even before they knew I had lichen planopilaris, they looked at my hair, they're like, you're not. I'm like, really? I'm not a candidate? They said my hair doesn't grow long enough. My hair's not long enough. And if your hair cannot grow long enough, you're not a candidate. Then I gave them my medical records, and they referred me to a dermatologist who has dealt with people with my condition. The hair restoration clinic wanted me to do minoxidil, which is kind of like Rogaine, but with some extra things, like I think it's called phenidestrin. There's like some extra things that have been shown to be really effective. They wanted me to take that. They wanted me to get one of those red light caps that like put red laser on your scalp, and these have been shown to be really effective. But the cap is expensive. But they also were like, but also we just need you to, figure out how to get a handle on this LLP. So I was like, okay. I went to this new dermatologist, and she gave me, I told her that I was applying Rogaine and it was making my condition worse. Like, I would apply Rogaine and the next day my head would be swelling. Oh my God, it would be so red and tender and oh. So she prescribed for me oral minoxidil, and I was like, I can't take this either, because every time I would take it, my entire body is now on fire. Like my whole body feels like it's really itching, like I had a niacin overdose or something. So she's like, okay, you're gonna take, what's it called? Prequinil, which the generic name is hydroxychloroquine. You're going to take that. And what else did she give me? And she gave me this one, Nutrafol. You finna take these. Stabilize your LLP, nourish the hair follicles, and then we'll see where we can go from there. So I've been taking these. I have not been the super compliant patient, but I've been taking them for like 2 months. I do plan to do updates on it, and eventually I'll do edited videos that are like, more mainstream friendly. And the research shows that it's going to take me a year to really see results from this stuff. But I was like, at least now I have an answer. This is why my hair doesn't grow. This is why it seems to just get shorter and shorter over time. It's been an internal condition all along. So I wanted to share that story because maybe you were like me, just racking your head, spending hundreds of dollars on products, treatments, only to see no results. I've been natural for a decade now, at least. I've been natural for a decade. And my hair never grew. It never grew past here. Nope. It just seemed to get shorter and shorter. And every time I cut it, it seemed to take longer and longer to get back to at least here. And man, I was product junkie. My bathroom cabinet barely closed. I had so many products, so many deep conditioners and protein treatments, and I was making concoctions in the kitchen, mixing the mayo and the egg and whipping up the shea butter. I was doing it all. And everybody had advice. Oh, have you tried black Jamaican castor oil? Have you tried mango butter? Have you tried shea? Have you tried coconut oil? Have you tried... And the thing is, I know I've had this condition this whole time because I used to be able to handle anything on my scalp. Then it was like I would do coconut oil and my scalp is itchy. And I would like, oh, coconut oil clogs your pores. I have to put stuff that doesn't clog my pores. So instead of coconut oil, I was using squalene oil. And then eventually that wasn't good enough. It was just like progressively less and less stuff that I could use. And it's unfortunate that it took me till now to discover it, because the earlier you catch it, then you can stabilize it and move on with life. But I am a walking experiment now to see, can this be stabilized? And once it's stabilized, can the hair grow? I don't see anybody else on YouTube talking about it. I mean, if you search on YouTube lichen planopilaris, it'll pull up, videos that are old. Like this video is 5 years old, 3 years old, 1 year old with no updates. So I'm like the only one here. But I'll be updating. And there are groups. There's this group called Let's Put Out the Fire or something like that on Facebook. It's full of people with lichen planopilaris. But the thing is, it's not a lot of black women there. So, and it's not a lot of people like kind of updating. It's just mostly people asking questions. So it's like, and people don't really post pictures and stuff. So I'm just like, I feel alone. I feel alone in this. But you don't have to feel alone. You don't have to feel alone. I'm going to be updating on it. If you subscribe to my channel, like I said, subscribe for the vibe, not necessarily for the content in particular, because I post whatever I want. But wanted to share this story. I've told this story before, but I never really used like a nice thumbnail and a catchy title. And shoot, I know it's still only going to be 20 people who see this, but maybe at least one of you was somebody who really needed to hear this. And it might encourage you to go to the doctor and just investigate internally, not just taking advice from people, strangers who are not experts or professionals in the field. Instead of asking them for advice and trying everything under the sun, how about we do an analysis on what's going on inside? So inside my heart, like inside the entire body. Thank you for watching. If you think this is worth sharing, make sure you like the video, because that's how other people will see it. Until next time, much love, much luck. Peace out.